Welcome in, McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, 7 a.m. It is Tuesday, May the 12th, right here on Jocks. Appreciate you being with us. Got a good show for you today. Chris Lowe going to join us. Ryan Carty going to join us. Ryan McGee will join us. Ryan McGee spent a lot of time with Lane Kiffin recently, well, at least in the past year. Had a little bit of a different perspective on him, different look at him, and obviously he's in the news, so we'll talk to Ryan McGee about Lane Kiffin at 9:20. Ryan Carty talks USC, Lincoln Riley, the expectations for that program at 8:40, and Chris Lowe with us at 8:20. He's talked to a couple of different coaches here over the last few months, but Lane Kiffin is in the news. Lane Kiffin is making noise, something that is not new to him, something that is not rare for him. Rare may be that it is now in Vanity Fair as opposed to in a press conference on the football field somewhere different. But it's something that he does well, G-Mac, and that is stay relevant. And doesn't really need to do other things to stay relevant because he's been a pretty good football coach the last few years. But some of the things that he has said in this Vanity Fair article have people frustrated, upset, specifically those in Oxford, Mississippi.
Well, I mean, he kind of kicked the hornet's nest. I mean, they already are frustrated with Lane Kiffin's departure. That's not news. Everybody understands that. But the fact that he continues to talk about his time and in some ways not so glowingly, I can understand why people are very frustrated. This is going to be anytime he says Ole Miss ever is going to cause a stir. So it's not really that surprising that people have reacted the way they've reacted.
It's a situation where this is why the SEC is great. We love our universities. We're proud of our universities. We're going to defend our universities. And a lot of times, certain people's opinion, if it's not in line with ours, we're going to get defensive. We're going to get upset. I do think some of the things that were brought up by Lane may be a little bit unnecessary. Not something that even if you thought it at the time really needs to be revisited publicly. We know the past in Oxford, Mississippi. We know the past with the state of Mississippi. And I feel like some of the things that were brought up, we've come a long way since then. It's not something that really seems to continue to still be an issue, but Lane felt like he needed to bring it up and he needed to discuss it. And one, it's going to get people talking about him. Two, maybe it feels it's going to give him advantages in his recruiting based on where he is now at LSU. Would you imagine that was any part of why he would want to do this, that he's trying to maybe up the advantages for himself with where he currently is?
Yeah, probably. It's possible. I mean, I wouldn't put it past anybody. These guys think about everything when it comes to how their program is perceived and how their program stacks up against those that he's going to be competing against. So it doesn't surprise me that they would have some type of agenda towards trying to create an advantage against the team he's now representing. So I don't know. It's definitely a lot of the article is a little bit. It does feel like I understand he's trying to quote explain himself, if you will, but I don't know, man. Like it's just sometimes it's better to say nothing at all. Like, I remember when Nick Saban took over at our place from LSU, and it was LSU fans were not happy about it, but he didn't say LSU. He didn't ever talk about LSU. He never said, "Oh, well, this is why we left LSU. this is why it's better to be here than at LSU." I mean, there's a high road that you can take, and I don't feel like he's been willing to take it for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's a little strange. Some of the quotes coming out of the article. Kiffin said top recruits would tell him, "Hey, coach, we really like you, but my grandparents aren't letting me move to Oxford, Mississippi." So that doesn't come up when you say Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Parents were sitting here this weekend saying the campus's diversity feels great, feels like there's no segregation. He has kind of clarified that comment since. I'd probably say for good reason, because I don't feel like that there is, quote, segregation in Oxford, Mississippi right now. But as you said, Greg, choose your words wisely. If you are going to say things about places that you have been and things that you have done, specifically when they're going to be put into print, because context is key. It's important. And different people are going to have different contexts on things when they don't hear you say them or hear the context in which you use them. So something that obviously frustrating for folks in Oxford right now and only makes this game early in the season that much bigger.
Yeah, it's going to be massive. There's no denying that. But it also, it was going to be massive to begin with. This article didn't add any extra fuel to the fire, in my opinion. It just further highlighted and heightened the, I don't know, just the polarizing nature of Lane Kiffin. Like, you either love him or you hate him. Nobody feels indifferent about Lane Kiffin. On either side of how you view him, you can be a diehard LSU fan. There's diehard LSU fans that don't like him. I mean, there's plenty of diehard fans of one particular school that don't like their coach and wish there were. I mean, I'm sure there's just several people like that. I mean, I'm sure there's people that are Ole Miss fans that still like him and appreciate the time that he spent in Oxford, Mississippi. I mean, he's just a very polarizing person.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. He's going to make noise regardless of what he's doing.
No doubt. But I think the most important thing, like, if you're ever, he's at LSU because of the time he spent in Oxford, Mississippi. I don't think you need to, and Ole Miss gave him all the resources in the world, gave him all the opportunity in the world. He was at FAU prior to that. And before that, he was a pariah. So, like, to me, it's unnecessary. Like, it's just unnecessary, man. Like, hey, I'm really, really grateful. Like, when I left SiriusXM, came here, like, man, really grateful for the time I was at SiriusXM. It was great experience. Awesome. Really, really enjoyed it. It was terrific. I'm not going to kick SiriusXM on the way out the door. Who does that? Like, I'm at Jocks because of my experience at SiriusXM. Grateful for every moment of it. I feel like Lane could have handled it that way, and I just don't understand why he won't. You know?
Yeah, that's obviously not something we're going to be able to even begin to answer, because being inside that brain is not something I think we're ever going to understand. Our friend Paul Feinbaum was quoted in the story, quote, "Kiffin is an introvert and he's a drama queen. He's sincere and he doesn't get enough credit for his acting ability. It's what makes him fascinating, and it's what makes him the most polarizing coach in college football." You and I have said a lot of times, Greg, people, they'll call on the show, we talk about him, and you've tried to lay it out. I've tried to lay it out. If he was sitting right here across from us, it's a totally different deal. It's not what you see on Twitter. It isn't. He's a totally different person in person. And that's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I think the Twitter persona, the social media persona, and maybe some of the antics on the field where he's not having to say anything. He's just doing things, whether it's throwing his play sheet up into the stands or running down the field, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the guy you sit with in a meeting. It's not the guy you sit across from a table and have a conversation with. And again, nothing wrong with that. It's just, I think what Paul is trying to say is what's wild about this is that there are so many different perceptions of him that it makes him that much more polarizing.
Very true. And I think that, I think he enjoys being the bad guy. Like, I think he really, like, finds joy in being hated by some. I think he really does. Like, I think he really enjoys that. Like, he kicks the hornet's nest intentionally.
There's a very, very key portion of the statement that you just made. And I'm not sure you even caught it. You think he enjoys being hated
by some of the population?
There you go. By some.
By some.
That's the key.
All right, Brian.
Some people just enjoy being hated. Very few. Some people enjoy the role of heel. But it's very interesting the way Greg stated that, because I agree with that. Being hated by some, I think, makes you really interesting. Because there's very few people who pick and choose the crowds in which they wish to be hated by, especially when that person also wants admiration from a lot of other people. That's the part that I think makes him very different from so many others. I don't know. You may disagree.
Well, I think a lot of people that are in politics go that route too. Like, they enjoy the heel role and yet love being celebrated by their constituents. It's a special personality type. I, for one, really struggle with it. That's why I got off social media. Like, I don't like to know that people don't like me. It really frustrates me. Like, I want to be liked. I feel like I'm a nice person. I want to be liked.
Should we do a better job of bringing those up?
No, it makes me frustrated. That's why I got off social media. Like, I don't think it's good for my brain. I don't think it's good for my mental health to be on social media. That's not reality, because people that talk noise on social media would probably ask for a selfie when I saw them in person. So I'm not really that worried about it. but I struggle with that. I think it's a very specific personality trait to be able to handle the role of heel and to lean into the role of heel and further accentuate their quote heelness.
Yeah.
Like, that's a hard thing to do. And I think that you see it in politics. I think you see it occasionally in random places of the world. But there's not a lot of platforms for it, frankly, where it can create actual buzz. College football head coaching is one of those. So it's unique. He's definitely a unique person, but you're right. I think the character, if you will, that you like Twitter Lane Kiffin, very different than real person Lane Kiffin. Like what you see in social media, what you even read in the articles, like this one in Vanity Fair, what you do all there, like us sitting here in the room, if he were sitting right here and we were off the air, totally different. Even when you listen to his press conferences, how often is he entertaining, frankly? Like, no, the guy's boring when you listen to his press conferences. So it's crazy to me how his persona is different in the court of public opinion than it is actually in real life when you actually can watch it, and people don't usually often choose to go that route.
Where do we think this goes? Because now he is being paired up with one of the biggest brands in college football.
Yeah.
Some would classify this as the easiest place to win big in college football. Now, I don't know if I would use the term easiest.
Right.
I would maybe come up with a different term to describe that. But you factually could say where more coaches have found fast success than anywhere else. And give me another school, Greg, that has had that many coaches win that big in our lifetimes.
Oh, not many. I mean,
I can't come up with another one. I mean, Ohio State, maybe. But that would be over a much bigger span of time than I think LSU. I mean, the fact that the success of 4 or 5 coaches was so compressed to what, like a 12-year span? When you think about what Coach Saban did, then Coach Miles did.
Yeah, I mean,
then Coach Orgeron did.
You could say Florida State, maybe. You could say Florida, maybe.
Definitely not Florida State.
Well, Florida State almost got to the playoff with Norvell. They won a national championship with Jimbo, and they won a national championship in my lifetime in the last 25 years with Bobby Bowden. So, like, that's the only other one that I can really think of that in a compressed time frame, in a 20, 25, 30-year time frame, you've had multiple guys competing and contending for national championships. There's not many. I mean, that's
but
it's rare.
If you went a bigger span of time, like your Ohio States, Michigans, Notre Dames are going to be in there for sure.
Yeah,
but
Tressel got one in 2002. Urban Meyer got one in 2014, and obviously Ryan Day got one in 2024. So, yeah, that's another one. But there's not a lot. Like, your point's well taken.
And so now you pair him with that, and you wonder, like, what is this going to be moving forward? 800-239-9569. Does this go past where LSU has been recently? Does this go past where Lane Kiffin has been recently? As far as making the move, Lane Kiffin also told Vanity Fair, no coach I talked to at any point ever said, stay there. Quote, you got one life. Do you believe that? I mean, he said it publicly that Saban told him to leave. Now, I imagine that Nick even got a little bit irked by that. 1, if it was true. 2, if it was false. Either way, Nick probably just doesn't want people knowing what they talked about.
Yeah,
Nick would never get on television and say, oh, this is what one of my mentors told me about doing this.
Correct. Yes.
Just not going to happen.
But I wouldn't be that surprised if Nick told him that. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know.
No, you've said it before. Nick is very much a realist and is going to lay things out for you in a very real way. The realist in anyone who is not an Ole Miss fan or not an LSU fan looks at this and says, all right, hold on a second. They've done this. They've done this. I'd probably go there.
Yeah.
It's the reality of it. Now, there are always going to be people that think with more of an emotional brain or think a little bit more about like personal legacy, or it would be cool to them. Like we talked about the Larry Bird rule yesterday.
Yes.
Like there's a reason that they put that rule in place because certain people like to see things like that in sports over time. There are definitely going to be people who are like, man, do you realize like it could be Vaught Hemingway Kiffin Stadium? Like you could have a statue outside of that place.
Yes.
Do what you're doing 3-4 more years, and you're literally the best to ever do it there. There's not going to be another one that's done what you've done. Already done some things, by the way, that those guys did not do.
All fair. Also, was it built Was it a house of cards? That's the other question, too. It's like maybe that's why he left. Maybe he knows more than we do. Maybe he knew that the way that they were putting the roster together annually every year, it was going to be difficult to sustain. I don't know the answer to these things. Like, only Lane Kiffin knows why he left. I think Oxford, Mississippi is a tremendous place, and I think Oxford, Mississippi is better, and the Ole Miss program is better today because of Lane Kiffin's tenure. So, like, if I were looking at it from an Ole Miss fan's perspective, I would look at it and I would say it this way. I'm not trying to preach to you how you should feel. You feel how you want to feel. I'd say, all right, hey, we appreciate the time that you were here. Like, I don't like you for leaving. I'm mad at you for leaving. And we're going to beat you in week 3 of the season this upcoming year. But tell you what, I am eager to prove that we are more than just Lane Kiffin's program. Like, we are Ole Miss. That would be my approach if I were Ole Miss. But I think Lane's done a pretty good job of kind of twisting the knife throughout this offseason, and frankly throughout just the way it was handling the playoff and all the challenges surrounding that as well. So I think it has led to increased resources and increased contribution at Ole Miss because of Lane leaving. Like, they have more money now today than they did last year because Lane left. So Ole Miss has been galvanized, and it might end up being a pretty good spot. We'll see, but
interesting that you didn't say better spot there.
Do you think it's a better spot than LSU historically? No.
But you said it might end up being okay instead of it might end up being better. Is there a chance? Here's the question that I want to answer going to break. Let's take Lee in Cincinnati first, and then I'll ask the question. Lee, what's on your mind today?
I was going to say Lane's arrogance definitely is why he left. Let's face it, because what's important is him, not the program. He's the most important thing to himself, and he probably realized, in my opinion, that he wasn't going to be able to win a national championship at Ole Miss, but he could at LSU, and that's most important to him. Not what he does for the school, not what kind of legacy he has, just the fact that he has national championships. That's Lane. That's the most important thing to him. And I think that's why.
Lee, let me ask you a question, though.
Sure.
After what you watched last year, you think it's impossible to win a national championship at Ole Miss?
Not at all, and I think that he could have done it. But I think also that he may have had doubts, and he's trying to come up with a reason why. Well, this is why, because of the grandparents. That's a lot of hogwash. We all know that. Okay, he's just trying to give an excuse to something when Lane thinks he can succeed anywhere, and he realizes it's going to be much more difficult at Ole Miss than what he thought, and that's why he wanted to cut bait while he still could and go somewhere else where it's going to be easier for him. He's a great coach, but he doesn't like that big of a challenge, in my opinion.
Appreciate the call, Lee. So, go ahead.
I don't think the reason why he left is because he didn't feel like he could win a national championship at Ole Miss. I think he knows he could. I think the reason why he left is because he knew that the likelihood of having a 3-9, the way they were building it year over year, was higher at Ole Miss than it was at LSU. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and then how quickly can you bounce back at either if that happens?
Correct.
That may be fair, but when you look at what that team did last year, stomping Tulane in the playoffs, beating Georgia in the playoffs, being a play away from Miami in the playoffs, they belonged on that stage.
For sure.
They belonged in that playoff, and they proved it multiple times over, and he wasn't even the head coach of the team at the time. So I will say my opinion shifted on Ole Miss last year, and it maybe happened not last year but the year before when Pete really upped the ante on the defense the prior year. Because if you go back and listen, I don't know if we could find the archives or not, but if you go back and listen to our show 4 years ago, we love the Ole Miss offense, but Greg and I would have both sat here and told you, like, they don't play good enough defense to go win a title, man. Like, that's not going to happen. They're not good enough at the line of scrimmage. The talent overall in defense is not good enough. Well, 2 years ago it was, and the draft proved it. And then last year again it was. And most of it will be this year.
Mm-hmm.
And does that mean they're on par with everybody else that's competing for national titles in the trenches? Y'all hear us talk about this almost every day on this show. There is not a team in the nation that we're going into this season saying they are going to dominate on both sides of the ball in the trenches. They all have question marks. None of them are elite on both sides of the ball, inside, on the ball. They're not.
When you find one that is, let me know.
Yeah, we'd love to go watch the tape.
I'd love to take a peek at it.
Yeah, we'll dive into that.
Oregon? No.
Yeah,
Texas
have,
Tech.
actually.
Texas Tech. Texas Tech.
What
Have.
about the Buckeyes?
Come on.
Have.
Yeah, Texas
Put the
Tech.
last 4 on.
Hadn't you seen Auburn? They had Keldrick Folk.
And there's some that are great on one side. Like Oklahoma's awesome on defense.
Great.
Their offense last year, not national championship worthy on the line of scrimmage. Not.
Nah.
Miami on offense and defense was the closest thing that I've seen to, in their totality, beyond dominant on both sides of the ball at the line of scrimmage. Now, Indiana was really good.
System.
Now, physically dominant, like did they overwhelm you with individuals? No, not really.
Great system.
But boy, those guys did exactly what they were asked to do.
They were really well coached.
So here's the question that I will go to break with, and you two, and you can call in as well, 800-239-9569. Is it possible, because of some of the things that Greg said and because of some of the things that have happened and just where it was when he left, is it possible that it will be better in Oxford than what it was? We'll answer that question next right here on Mac and Cube in the morning. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. 7:25, Tuesday, May 12th, right here on Jocks. Lane Kiffin leaving Oxford for Baton Rouge, some say to chase a ring. If you're chasing a different kind of ring, Greg, you should probably go to Bromberg's.
Well, Bromberg's does a great job. They have the best quality, unbelievable selection. Their buyers do an incredible job of making sure they pick out beautiful pieces that will stand the test of time. That's what I think is cool about going into Bromberg's. When you make the purchase, it's not going to be just for your lifetime and your lifetime's enjoyment. Your purchase will be protected. It's an investment, and it can be passed down for multiple generations. You can also go and get David Yurman, which is now the only place you can get it. It's the exclusive retailer here in the area, is at Bromberg's. They have beautiful stuff all over the place. So go and see Bromberg's today in Mountain Brook Village or at the Summit and enjoy and discover David Yurman exclusively at Bromberg's.
All right, so we're having a conversation about this Vanity Fair article on Lane Kiffin, and we asked the question before we went to break, is it possible that it could be better? Because Greg brought up a great point in that it has ignited the Ole Miss faithful fan base, supporters, boosters, when Lane left, to do more, to sort of up the ante, so to speak, which that you look at as a net positive for Keith Carter, Ole Miss, Pete Golding, all of it, the Ole Miss fan base even. Now, is it as proven of a head coach? No, absolutely not. But we have a lot of confidence in Pete Golding because of where he's been, what he's done, what he's been through, and honestly, who he is to potentially not just right the ship, but continue things where they've been. So I'll ask you the question, Greg, because when you stated it, you didn't necessarily say it could be better initially. You said, what was the word that you said? It could be fine.
Potentially better?
Potentially better.
Improved situation.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Based on what I've heard, now take this third party. Supposedly, Ole Miss's investment in their roster this year is not that dissimilar to LSU's. Supposedly. Now, I've been told they're equal. Don't know if I believe that in its entirety, but
well, can I just bring up like a sidebar in this conversation?
Yes.
I went on with Crane and Company yesterday, and they brought up Ole Miss, and I think they did the top 5 new head coaches that are going to have the most success year one, and Lane Kiffin was number 1, which I probably just ruined their video, and I didn't mean to do that, so I'm sorry. But
got him.
Inside the conversation, it was things along the lines of what you were just saying. This roster. Have we gone too far with the alleged money that has been spent on this roster? Let's just be real for a second, because I'll ask you, Greg, because you've watched them all. How many dudes on this roster, on first team, offense, defense, scare the expletive out of you?
Not like a ridiculous amount, but there are a few.
But we treat it like it's 2019 LSU.
Well, it might be better.
It's more expensive. I get it.
It's newer.
But listen, Jordan Seaton is an incredible talent. I'll give you that. I enjoy watching him play football. There are a lot of things he can still improve upon. Okay. Trey'Dez Green is a matchup nightmare. He is awesome to watch. He is probably the most dangerous tight end in college football when you're talking about receiving the ball. He's got a ways to go as far as in line, what he can do, what he can't do. But that's not really what he's out there for. He's going to help him a lot. Sam Levitt is a really good college quarterback when he's healthy.
Yeah.
Is he elite?
Can be.
Could be.
Yeah.
Might be.
Yeah, can be. Has played elite level football in his career.
Yep. And when he did, had an absolute pit bull behind him at tailback, yes or no?
Don't you start.
Okay. Just the times that he didn't,
just
I'm wondering what it looked like then.
At WWE on a broken foot doesn't mean that he was, a pit bull.
Just didn't know that. Just wanted to make sure when that run game wasn't there, he may have not been elite, but it's okay.
He also had a pretty dang good receiver on the outside.
Yeah,
not bad.
Harlem Berry has shown flashes of being really good, but elite?
5 stars. Look how stars.
What that wasn't his fault. They didn't hand him the
It's totally
football.
fair and couldn't block when they did. But nonetheless.
It wasn't his fault.
I'm just saying, entering the season, do you feel the same way about Harlem Berry as you did Leonard Fournette?
Okay, but answer me this. No, I don't, obviously. But answer me this. Look at the success that Ole Miss had the last couple of years with this offense, this style of attack.
Yeah.
Answer me this. Is Jordan Seaton better than a tackle they had at Ole Miss the last couple of years? I know you love Diego Pounds. I get it. I know he's your favorite player ever. Yeah. Look how big.
I might take Nick Broker over Jordan Seaton, but that would be it.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Nick,
I don't
Nick
care.
Broker
I don't
would
care
bite your
how,
kneecap off.
I
know which one Dan Campbell would take.
Yeah, I don't care about what he does after the whistle. I'm talking about, like, if I had to play today, you would take Jordan Seaton over any offensive lineman that Ole Miss has had in Lane Kiffin's tenure.
Yes.
By a mile. Okay, that's no disrespect. Jordan Seaton's just got that high a ceiling. And we'll see how it all works out. So it's a good fit.
That might be the practice we need to have here.
Look at the receivers. Are there a couple questions? Sure. Yeah, there's a couple questions at receiver. But there's questions at Ole Miss at receiver every year. And how many people were super jacked up about the addition of DeJon Stribling last year outside of us?
No, we liked it, but I don't think we looked at it as it's just going to be unstoppable.
How many people were super excited about the addition of Trey Wallace outside of us? Because we drew comparisons to Keandre Lambert-Smith, and he was just underutilized at Penn State. But I think he's got a chance to be pretty good. Like, not a lot of people were sitting there saying, "Oh man, tell you what, these receivers can be pretty good." I look at this group of receivers at LSU. I think they got a chance to be pretty good. I don't know for sure, but cautiously optimistic. I know the tight end's a dude. So I don't know. Not a lot of people on other platforms were talking about Daquan Wright last year. Or I don't know. When I say not a lot of people on other platforms, I mean literally nobody on anyone outside of Rebel Insider or whoever the heck, McCready and those guys. Like, they were the only ones that knew who this guy was. We knew who he was. We were talking about him. We said he's going to be a problem.
We liked him.
We loved him. Great player. A lot of speed. Said he was underutilized the year before. I bet he breaks out this year. What do you do? Break out. So it's not like we know all the. It's not. We just know this offense. I've been studying it for 12, 13 years. I know what this offense can do. And it can elevate marginal talent. And when I say marginal, I mean fringe NFL talent. Yeah. It can elevate those guys to well beyond that. So
they work around things that some other teams cannot.
They create problems for you big time.
But defensively, in the same side of things, I love Blake Baker. Blake Baker's an incredible defensive coordinator. Outside of Whit Weeks, who really scares you on this defense? And that, please understand, this doesn't mean that some of these players I don't think are going to be good. I think DJ Pickett's great. I think Jordan Ross, we did our edge defender draft yesterday, and I took him off the board late because of the potential ceiling. Now, we hadn't seen a lot of that in games yet, but athletically is a freak show. And there's a chance in this defense with how he'll be utilized, he could potentially be that guy. But Malik Blockton been wrecking shop. Don McKinley's done some good things, but I don't know if I'm putting him next to Booger McFarland.
I don't dislike their D-line.
I'm not saying I dislike it. We're treating this roster like it's a borderline NFL roster. And from a roster perspective, all I'm saying is we might need to take a small step back. Because they're not going to go win a bunch of games because every dude at every position is better than the other dude at every other position.
Fair enough. Answer me this question. This roster or Ole Miss's roster last year?
I'll probably take the Ole Miss roster last year.
Not me. I'm taking the LSU roster.
You're going to okay, you're taking this LSU D-line over that D-line last year?
No. You had two guys you had one guy on the D-line last year that was an absolute handful.
You had two.
The other guy didn't play as hard as he needed to play. And
but he was a handful. But he was a handful. Xavier Harris was a handful.
The amount of reps that he was exposed to, if I got past 20 reps, he was standing straight up at 6'8". Yeah, those first 20 reps
different than the kid in Kentucky a couple years ago, but when he was going, he was going.
Those reps are a beast.
You mentioned Cam Franklin yesterday and how much you like him. He was on that D-line last year.
I do like him. Yeah, and he didn't get enough run. I like Womack, too.
Perkins was on that D-line last year.
Yeah. It was a good D-line. I'm not saying this D-line's better, but all right, linebackers. You want Daughtery?
Well, one of them's there. One of them's the same guy.
Yeah, same guy.
You want Daughtery? Weeks? Who are you taking? Come on.
Linebackers, I'll take this LSU group.
What about secondary? By a mile, LSU. So it's great that you got
By a
D-line.
mile?
By a mile?
Yes. Their secondary was a liability last year. With all due respect to that group last year, they were a liability at Ole Miss. They had to coach around them. You can watch the tape. Watch the tape.
Quarterback.
I know we're taking Ole Miss.
Quarterback.
Running back, I'm taking Ole Miss.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Tight end,
You're
probably
taking
going
secondary.
LSU.
You're taking
No,
secondary.
I just don't think it's by a mile.
No, it's LSU by a decent margin. All right, moving on. You handle O-line, D-line evaluations. I'll handle secondary. You said
Fair.
that's your blind spot.
Fair
I'll
enough.
handle that. I'll
Fair
handle
enough.
that position for you. It's LSU. All right. Which, by the way, they're not Patrick Petersons.
No.
There's not 4 Patrick Petersons back there. There's no Honey Badger in that group, but they got a good group. It's a solid group in the back.
A couple Mo Claibornes.
Not even a Grant Delpit.
end.
A couple Mo Claibornes.
Grant Delpit is last year. Look, it's a good solid group. It's a middle to upper tier SEC group, which is pretty good. You just don't want to be in the bottom tier.
No. Okay.
Ole Miss last year, especially the first 6-7 games, was down towards the bottom.
All right. We will finish this practice when we come back next right here on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Glad you're with us. 800-239-9569, 800-239-WJOX. See a couple of you on hold. Now will be your chance to get in. We'll get your thoughts on the Lane Kiffin Vanity Fair article, but more so rolling into, can Ole Miss be better? It's just plain and simple. Can it be better than what it was. I think a lot of people would find that hard to believe, hard to imagine, and would say, no, probably not better. He got it to places at times that it had not been before, plain and simple. It had not been there. So to say it's going to be better, I think a lot of people would probably look at that and say, I can't get on board with that. I'm not going to allow that. And listen, Lane Kiffin had a lot of success at Ole Miss. A lot of success.
Lots.
And did some great things. This may be one of the new issues of the areas that he's heading into now is there have been a lot of coaches that have had the ultimate success in Baton Rouge. And maybe part of the reason, Greg, that it was, I don't want to say easier, but it was able to be done in Oxford is there wasn't that external pressure. There weren't those flamethrowers coming from the crowd when things didn't go exactly the way that they needed to as consistently as there may be in Baton Rouge. And the players didn't feel that as much, and the coaches didn't feel that as much, and he didn't feel that as much. Now, if there's a guy that can sort of treat that like a duck and water rolling off his back, it's probably Lane. But also just part of the problem that you look at of what may be different. I don't know if I would immediately say it's going to be better because now that expectation, as we all know, it makes it more difficult.
Yes.
When you've been there, it makes it tougher to get back. That's why what Coach Saban did is the most impressive thing we've seen in college football. It's being there year after year after year.
I also think the microscope that you're going to operate under, given the bridges that you've burned to this point, is going to be tremendous. I mean, I think that was part of what made things not work as well. And I know he's evolved as a different coach, as a different level of maturity, all this other stuff. I think that's part of what transpired at USC is the negativity compounded in the court of public opinion, even for those that did not have a dog in the hunt. I think a lot of people understood why he left Tennessee for SC. I think a lot of people understand why he left Ole Miss for LSU. They might not agree with it, but they understand, all right, I can understand why he decided to do that. $91 million, more stable program over the last 25 years. Like, I understand it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand it. And it'd be hard to turn down if it were me. I get what he's saying. But at the same time, like, I think he's just created a lot of people that really want to see it fail. I think there's a decent amount of people that want that.
Yeah.
In the court of public opinion, with no rooting interest. Obviously, Ole Miss fans feel a certain way. But I just think publicly, if you were to ask someone on the street, do you want to see Lane Kiffin succeed? I wonder what they would say. I would assume they probably don't. And that's not because they have a dog in the hunt. Ask an NFL fan. I don't know. I feel like he's kind of a villain.
It would be an easy answer for Raiders fans, Tennessee fans, USC fans, Ole Miss fans. And so it's beginning to populate itself.
Florida Atlantic fans as well. Can't forget about them.
I'm not sure that it's even a real thing.
He coached there.
But, yes. Don wants to chime in on Lane Kiffin. Welcome in, Don. You're on the Higginbotham Hotline.
Hey, guys. Good morning to you. Cole, first of all, you did such a great job on the Feinbaum show last week, my friend. But, no, on Kiffin and everything, you remember the documentary they had on ESPN where they said he had turned over a new leaf and he had changed everything? That was so false. But to give the man credit, he is a good coach. Cole, I'm going to call it out right now. I think we got a chance to beat LSU at home this year.
Well, I mean, I think if you're talking about can Auburn beat LSU this year, yes, it's feasible, possible. I think a lot of things will have to go your way, but we've talked about it. Not many of these teams feel invincible anymore. So if some things come together, you got a couple of different things that are going your way, offense, defense, yeah, feasible for sure.
Okay, but on the Ole Miss situation, Cohen guys, I think they'll be good again this year because of the players they got back. But after this year, I think they're going to fall off a little bit.
We'll see. There's no way to know because Pete hadn't been in this spot. And all the players that we're referencing that they're just retaining, they had a chance to leave. They didn't. So there's a reason for that somewhere. And whether it's upset with the coach that left or admiration for the coach that stayed, the financial situation, whatever it is, they stayed. Spring weather in Alabama, often unpredictable. It doesn't stay the same. You can always rely on a Train Home Comfort system, and during their Spring Unstoppable event, can receive up to a $1,350 rebate on select Train Home Comfort systems. Learn more. Find a comfort specialist near you at Train.com. It's hard to stop a train. Damien, when I ask that question, can it be better? What comes to mind for you? Can Ole Miss, in and of itself, be better with Pete Golding and without Lane Kiffin?
It can be. I think in the short term now, you got Trinidad Chambliss for another year. If he continues to develop, you got Keywan Lacey. Like, you have the pieces for it to be consistent. And, again, you've got, I mean, at least against Mercer, you got one of the best backups in the SEC with Deuce Knight coming in. He's going to be the future. So, I mean, the talent, I think, is going to be still at a premium. But I think we're looking towards the future as far as the college football playoff is expanding now. So, I think Ole Miss is going to be at or near the top consistently, because I don't think Pete Golding's going to allow it to get any worse. Like, I mean, he knows what winning looks like. It's not that he's been, I mean, he was defense coordinator at the University of Alabama with Nick Saban. Like, he knows exactly what winning football is supposed to look like. And I think with all the things that come with Lane Kiffin, you don't have to worry about with Pete. Like, he's a ball coach. Like, he could care less about all the media and all this other stuff, the foolishness. Like, he is what's going to happen between those white lines. And I think that it has a chance to continue, if not to be better, because, I mean, Pete Golding knows what winning looks like.
All right, let's finish our practice here, Greg. Quarterback, we said, as far as current rosters this year, we're going to go Ole Miss, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We need to go to a break and then do this?
Yeah, let's
we'll do this on the other side. We'll take a break, come back, position by position, Ole Miss versus the LSU roster this season next on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, Tuesday, May 12th, 7:49, right here on Jocks. You can listen online, jocksfm.com. The app is in your app store, iPhone, Android. Download that for free. Listen on the go. Get your podcast. Also directs you to the YouTube where you can watch us live every day. Search Jocks945 to watch us on YouTube and go back and watch it or watch live. and tell your home smart speaker to enable the Jock skill.
Bill Smith Buick GMC is the GMC Dealer of the Year, the national champion of GMC dealers. You just take the short drive to Coleman. You'll understand why. It's the deals that keep people coming back. There's a reason why 75% of their business is repeat customers. That's because you have a better experience when you shop with Bill Smith. Go up there right now. Yourself a GMC Sierra 2500 Denali Ultimate. It's a beautiful vehicle. Spend nearly $100,000 here locally. But if you take the short drive up to Coleman, you'll save $10,000. You'll get it for $89,030. Deals like that keep coming back. There's a reason why they've sold more vehicles than anyone in the entire Southeast. There's a reason why they've been number one in Alabama for a very long time. There's a reason why Andy Cole and crew deliver in a way that nobody else can. So take the short drive to Coleman. You'll be glad you did. You can also shop online. Have it delivered right to your driveway at BillSmithBuickGMC.com.
All right, so we're talking the Lane Kiffin situation, Vanity Fair article, moving over to LSU, the Ole Miss roster now that he's gone. Quarterback's going to go to Ole Miss, correct?
By a decent margin, yeah.
Okay.
By a mile.
Running back's going to go to Ole Miss.
By a mile.
Yes.
Okay. Offensive line, we're going to say LSU.
Yes. You're not?
I go to you, Cole. You know this.
I don't know if it is a complete given. I think when we really broke it down, at the end of the day, we would probably look at it and say, yes, it's LSU, but keep in mind, like Delano Townsend, Bryson Sanders, Patrick Kudas, they all played together last year and played pretty good football at times.
Down the stretch, it was better.
Now, you bring in Karius Kern from LSU last year, that might be a net positive for LSU. That may actually swing it back to LSU, losing him and placing him there.
Gotcha.
Because that's not one that I see. But like, where's the confidence coming from with the LSU line outside of Jordan Seaton? And that's where everybody just tells me how good they're going to. Like, Borderland hadn't played a ton. Braylon Moore was kind of up and down, banged up a little bit.
Yeah.
Weston Davis did not play good football last year. Number 75, Greg, played tackle. Like, you watched it. So I'm going to say push.
I'm fine with push.
So we're going to push the O-line. Tight end?
I'm going to always, in that scenario, I'm going to revert to you.
Tight end, we're saying LSU?
Are they going to throw it to him?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What is, I mean,
they're going to use him. They're going to use him.
Who all they got at Ole Miss right now?
Well, you had the kid that's from Arkansas a couple years ago.
Haas.
Luke Haas.
Yeah. But he was like number 3 or 4 last year.
Oh, he's dinged up,
He's
though.
banged up, yeah.
But we know he can be pretty good.
He
when
had
he's
a
out
moment. Yeah, he's had some moments.
Brady Priestcorn. I mean, his name's Priestcorn.
Got to be good then.
Got to be a player.
Oh.
And Michael Smith from South Carolina. Don't remember the tape.
Hadn't seen the tape?
I may have seen it, just don't remember it. Brady Priestcorn from Michigan. 6'6", 250.
Oh,
that's Cam Newton size.
Perfect.
I remember the T-shirts.
I'm going to lean Trey-Des Green there.
Understandable.
I think he gives him the edge.
Slight.
It's understandable.
Linebacker, you say easily LSU? I mean, they're all new. They're all new guys at Ole Miss, so it's a little tough. I mean, Keaton Thomas is coming in. Luke Farrelly's coming in. Jay Crawford's not a linebacker. Taj Butler. It's Whit week, so I'll give it to LSU.
I think LSU, but I can't say it's a slam dunk, but I give it to LSU.
Defensive backs, you say LSU.
Yes.
Again, it's mostly new outside of Antonio Kite, who was pretty good for them last year.
Yes.
Edwin Joseph, Tony Mitchell, Sharif Denson. Like, it's got a chance to be fine, but I'll allow that, and we'll go LSU.
Okay.
Now, here's the one we may disagree on, is defensive line.
Oh, boy.
You got Cam Franklin, Will Eccles. We're going to count Centarian Perkins in there.
Okay.
You
He's got to count somewhere.
You also bring in Jaheim Otis from Alabama/Colorado.
Not on board with him being a huge difference maker. We've been waiting for it for too long.
I think he can help, though. I think he can help.
They need some depth. That's for sure.
They do need depth. That is not Micah Burrow from Florida. 7 tackles, 2 sacks last year.
He got hurt early, but like
the weight's got to get in check.
Yeah, but he was a good, solid depth piece for Florida last year.
Okay.
When he was available.
Jordan Renaud from Alabama
Solid.
will help.
Yeah, solid.
Okay. So you put that up against what LSU's going to have. And I don't know if I look at Princewell, Uman Mielen, Don McKinley, Malik Blockton, Jordan Ross as any better.
I think Blockton's a good player.
Solid, has done some good things.
I think he's a good player.
I don't think he wrecks shop consistently. I think he's solid. I think he and Don McKinley are about the same guy. Jordan Ross, we hadn't seen it yet. Princewell Uman Mielen he's going to need to benefit from some other people.
We can agree on that to an extent. I think Malik Blockton and Don McKinley are good, solid interior pieces. I'm not saying they're going to wreck.
You still have Will Eccles. You still have Cam Franklin. You still have Centarian Perk. It's at least a push at worst.
Okay, push.
So if we're doing the old school Auburn Plainsman, checking the positions, previewing the games, it's 3-2 LSU. Which, again, for this practice, I'm absolutely fine with because I'll say it one more time. We're treating this roster like it's 2 years ago Ohio State. That's what people are treating this roster like.
It might be a little better.
I think it's definitive based on the practice we just had. Back with more next on Jocks.